going to share my screen just to have this on. And then when we get ready, I'll Teams you when we get ready to start, but then if you can just highlight me as I do the opening, and then highlight Commissioner when it's her turn to start.
Testing one more time, everything good?
I can chat and report.
Go ahead.
But I can't highlight.
Hold on, let me...
You can't do spotlight for everyone.
I'll just add you as a co-host. I think that's why.
There you go. Yeah, now I can.
So can you cut that then? Well, Kate said that she can hear us on the live stream, so can we make that not a thing right now?
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll get started in a few minutes. Okay, we are going to go ahead and get started. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Seth Cohen. I am the Director of Strategy and Analytics for Commissioner Briones, and we are all very excited to have you here on this busy Thursday afternoon. Thank you for coming to participate in what will be our first of 2 virtual listening tours this year. Tonight, you're going to hear from Commissioner Briones and representatives from the Small Business Administration, the Federal Emergency Management Administration, and our very own Precinct 4 policy staff. As a reminder, at any point, if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat, and we will answer them near the end of the program. Thank you again for being here, and we look forward to your comments and answering your questions. And now, please welcome Commissioner Lesley Briones.
Thank you so much, Seth and Harris County Precinct 4 team, for making this possible. I thank everyone who is on this meeting this afternoon for joining us. We are honored to serve you. We are here to listen, learn, and serve. You'll hear more from me later in the program, but my team and I just want to say thank you for being a part of the Precinct 4 family and for giving us the opportunity to serve.
And now we will go to our friends at the Federal Emergency Management Administration. Tanisha Taylor will kick us off.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, my name is Tanisha Taylor. I am a representative. I'm representing the IHP program, and I'm just here to tell you a little bit more about our individual household program with FEMA. I want to provide you with some information. We provide financial assistance and direct services to eligible individuals and households who have underinsured or just are in who don't have insurance type of expenses due to presidentially declared disaster. The assistance being rendered is not a substitute for insurance and cannot actually compensate for all losses caused by the disaster. But the assistance is intended to help survivors meet their basic needs and help supplement disaster recovery efforts. The assistance is available to homeowners and to renters. So also we had some IA reform in regards to streamlining and making the process easier. Specifically, we made some accessibility improvements, money to help you make accessibility repairs to your home, such as exterior ramps, grab bars, and paved paths to home entrance if you have a disability. And repairs can be made with these items damaged during a disaster. Improvements to the home can also be made with these features that were not presented before the disaster, but are now needed due to pre-existing disability or disability caused by the disaster. In addition to that, we're no longer requiring that applicants who need to file appeals, you no longer have to write a letter. You can just visit a DRC, or you can upload your documentation to support and substantiate your claims. And that's pretty much it on my end, and I'm open to take any questions. We've also expanded eligibility and tried to simplify our application process. So if anybody has any additional questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you very much. So we will, if you have any questions, please type them in the chat and we will get to them at the end of the program. So next, we will go to our Precinct 4 policy team, who will be talking about all the great things going on with the courts package that was at Commissioner's Court last week. And that speaking there will be Larissa, one of our policy advisors.
Hello, and thank you everyone for taking the time to be here and participate today. I'll be talking about the Advancing Justice package that Commissioner Briones proposed at the August 6th Commissioner's Court. This is a package of investments that will advance justice in Harris County by enhancing efficiency and fostering systemic change throughout the criminal courts and our justice system. The aim is to target points in the life cycle of a case that can be delayed by factors ranging from missed court appearances by defendants, mental health challenges, and challenges with case management. By greasing all of these essential gears that you see here on this presentation, we can enhance efficiency throughout the system and advance the delivery of justice for everyone in our county. These are the 5 years we've chosen to focus on, and this is just one of many transformational steps we're planning on taking to improve these systems. So firstly, I'll talk about upgrading outdated court technology. This investment will replace existing courtroom AV systems and outdated tech that is an immediate need for the courts. Some court technology hasn't been upgraded in over 10 years, and often there isn't even a way to find a replacement or buy replacements for these technologies, and this can really cause a lot of disruptions and difficulties in court proceedings. An example is that victims often have to repeat their testimony because the courtroom can't hear them, and other issues. So we're very excited about the passing these items at court. The second gear will be to improve court appearance rates. We know that there are many socioeconomic and informational barriers that can prevent people from showing up to their court dates, which delays the justice process. So in order to help prevent these delays and difficulties, we've expanded bilingual text messages and other forms of reminders to alert felony defendants of their upcoming court dates and prevent a cycle of forfeiting bonds, etc. And we're also partnering with the Harris Center's Community Assistance Referral Program, or CARP, as a lot of people may know it, who help bridge gaps in resources that defendants need to show up to their court dates, such as transportation assistance, mental health referrals, and an actual human calling your phone to remind you. The third gear is increasing mental health support services. As we continue digging into the causes of long jail stays and analyzing the jail population, we found that the number of individuals deemed incapable of standing trial has increased by nearly 40% in the recent years. And they also spend twice as long in jail as people without these issues. So to help alleviate the delays associated with long jail stays for those with mental health barriers, we're enhancing resources for the jail-based competency restoration program and also streamlining operations to provide specialized care and support for those defendants. The fourth gear is to sustain the associate judges program and their support staff. So we want to continue the progress that we've made with the court backlog, which is currently over 60%, has been reduced by over 60%. And we would like, and the plan is to help support very complex cases that judges have to deal with. And particularly for in-custody cases. So we advocated for continuing the funding for the Associate Judges Program through October of 2025. And then lastly, we have the gear of streamlining case management. So when court dates are delayed, cases take longer to resolve, and this keeps victims and defendants from having their day in court. As of this July, 45% of active cases were over 6 months old already. So our goal with this year is to use a data-driven approach and additional support to streamline processes and improve communications for all parties involved in these cases. We're advocating for a data developer and court staff to improve caseload efficiency and without compromising the quality of justice that's being delivered. So my colleague and I, Samia, are available to answer any questions. And Samia, if you'd like to speak, but if not, otherwise, thank you so much, everybody, for attending today.
Great. Thank you so much, Larissa. Next, we will go to Commissioner Briones.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again. My team and I are honored to serve you. We have 450 amazing team members, and you're seeing a sampling of them today, but we talk a lot about heart, hustle, and higher standards, and that's what we always aim to do. I'll be giving an overview presentation. We will, again, have ample time at the end for Q&A with regard to FEMA, SBA, and other questions for Precinct 4. So please keep the questions coming. My team has them all, and we will get to them. But for now, let's please pull up the deck. Thank you. And I also wanted to say thank you. So many of you joined one, if not more. We had 12 in-person town halls last year, our first year in office as your commissioner. This year, we're having 4 listening tours in person. So we invite you to come to our next one on September 14th. And we're having a couple of these virtual town halls because we know we need to create optionality so that we can make sure we're serving all in a more conducive way. So let's dive in. Welcome. So Precinct 4, just to level set, Harris County is bigger than 26 states. Every county in Texas is divided into 4 precincts and has a county judge. So I'm honored to represent a fourth of Harris County. Our precinct is over 1.2 million residents. Our precinct is larger than 8 US states. We have 5 cities that we partner with, 141 MUDs, and thank you to those of you who joined us at our MUD gathering. That was wonderful to hear your ideas. We have 17 management districts, 6 TERSs, 1,600 miles of unincorporated roads that we are in charge of maintaining, and 14,000 acres of green space. We have 55 parks, which I hope you have had the opportunity to enjoy, and we have 10 community centers. We are committed to continuing to improve programming, and we were so happy to launch free youth camps this summer, and we look forward to continuing to build on all of the classes. So whether it's exercise classes, language, we have all sorts of different events, classes, seminars we invite you to attend. They're free for you and your family. And again, we have about 450 team members that serve you all day, every day with heart, hustle, and higher standards. So Seth, next slide, please. So in everything we do, to me, it is critical that we focus on the why. Why are we here? So I always challenge and motivate and encourage my team to think of our core purpose, which is to advance opportunity and justice. And so every initiative that we're considering, we make sure that it is an advancement of opportunity and justice. Again, our core values, how do we behave? Heart, hustle, higher standards. We hire around this. We interview around this. Our performance management is around this, as well as promotion. So this is in everything we do. And we're very proud of that. And again, we're here to deliver services to you and advocate for all people in Harris County. And we make sure we put it through these strategic anchors. Is this an equitable distribution of resources? Is this empowering our communities? And is this an example of efficient and effective government? We believe deeply in good government. And so that is how we orient all the work of the people. And I love that as commissioner, I get to wear 2 hats. One is getting to go so deep in our precinct and work on everything from parks, roads, community centers, disaster relief and recovery. And then the other hat is to represent you at Commissioner's Court. So I'm one of 5 votes for all countywide decisions. So I take both of those hats extremely seriously, and I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that we have to work together. So next slide, please. So our policy priorities are 1, good government. We want to show that the government can work and that we're continuously improving in terms of the impact, in terms of the effectiveness and the efficiency of government. I believe deeply in working across levels of government, public-private partnerships, working across aisles, because I'm interested in solutions and making progress. And so that is very important to all the work we do. Infrastructure, a substantial portion of the county budget is tied to infrastructure dollars, and we'll dive more into that and how we think through infrastructure. But we see it as a way to maximize opportunity, connect people to education, economic opportunity, to advance safety, making sure our roads are continuously getting safer for those in vehicles, bikes, pedestrians, and beyond. So we'll talk more about our infrastructure projects. And it's also safety from all of the flood risk that all of us endure. And we all have suffering from this repeatedly. So we'll talk about flooding in more detail in a second. Education and opportunity. I'm the proud daughter of teachers. I used to be an 8th and 10th grade teacher. I'm the proud mom of 3 daughters who go to HISD. Education is everything. So what are we doing within the realm of county government to advance education, but also economic opportunity? And we will talk about some of our apprenticeship investments, working with a revolving loan fund, helping small businesses, helping MWBEs. So we'll discuss that. Public health, of paramount importance to everything that we do is to advance the wellness of our community, and justice and safety. So as a lawyer and as a former judge, civil court judge, justice and safety. And Larissa Insomnia just went over the most recent investment, but that is one of many that we have done because it is a holistic investment in justice and safety, which we will delve into. So these are 5 policy priorities. Would you please go to the next slide? So in terms of justice and safety, we think of it as this very interdependent system, right? The front end of this, the goal is for no one to get into the system, hence education, economic opportunity, health, right? What are these pre-system investments? And then at the beginning of the system, in the system, and then post, right? So we think of it very systemically, very holistically. And how can we maximize public safety while doing it in a way that's strategic, doing it in a way that respects everyone's constitutional rights? So the advancing justice package that we just discussed is a way to enhance efficiency, because we know that justice delayed is justice denied. And so if there is one piece of the system that is not working as efficiently or optimally, that's affecting the quality of justice. And it's delaying when victims, when defendants, when their families have their day in court. So having been a judge and having been a lawyer, just finding those levers, whether it's through technology improvements, dashboards, just enhanced collaboration across the county, across law enforcement, district attorney, public defender, community resources, mental health resources. And one thing that I'm very proud of is when we took office, we didn't have HART, the Holistic Assistance Response Team in Precinct 4. So we not only expanded it to Precinct 4, but we expanded 24/7 service in District 1 and District 4. And what that does, it connects individuals with mental health resources and frees up law enforcement officers' time to actually focus on violent crime rather than putting someone who doesn't need to be in our jail in our jail. So it's a win-win from our justice system perspective and a win for the individual so they can get connected to services. Another example of our progress is I'm 43 years old. It came to my attention that Harris County had only gotten 1 criminal district court since 1985. I was 5 years old. Think of the population growth. So in addition to continuing to invest in associate judges to help with the backlog, additionally, with all of these efficiency investments, our judges are at over 100% clearance rate. We've reduced the backlog approximately 65%. But even then, case filings continue to increase because we've had a substantial population growth since 1985. So my team and I were very proud to go advocate for 6 additional criminal district courts in Austin, which were approved. And now we have these 6 new courts to help, again, deliver justice in a way that improves quality and improves the efficiency and time, so folks don't have to wait for years to get their day in court. We've also, as we mentioned, investing in jail-based competencies so that those who need to be restored to competency or be evaluated, they are not waiting months and months on end in our jail before they're evaluated. We also helped lead with regard to a raise for our law enforcement officers, 7% raise for law enforcement officers, as well as a 12% raise for our detention officers so that we can help recruit and retain. We have open spots we're not able to fill, and that affects the services we're able to deliver at our jail. And so that's one of the many investments we're making to enhance the safety and justice that's delivered there in our detention facility. We also partnered with the City of Houston and various agencies to distribute gun safes and gun locks at a gun buyback. We've invested in a teledeputy, again, so that we're using time efficiently. This is where if it's a low-level, non-urgent call to law enforcement, that can be handled by someone in an office who can write the report from there versus using law enforcement officers' time going to respond, because we want to make sure we're reducing the response time for domestic violence-related calls or any sort of physical assault or violence that needs to be responded to. So again, how do we better invest and leverage time and energy? And then the Violent Person Warrants Task Force. There are many open warrants that we need to double down on. And so this is using experienced law enforcement officers in an overtime program so that they can prioritize, again, all about leveraging time, looking for those individuals who have a warrant for a violent offense. Again, investing heavily in the mental health space as well, because this is a very interconnected issue, and we want to make sure we're connecting folks to resources who need them and only putting cases in our courts and folks in our jail who actually need to be there. So we've also been investing in our public defender's office so we can get them more resources so that they can get to up to 50% of the cases they can handle, as well as investing in our district attorney's office to improve the intake and other areas. So again, this is a very systemic, holistic way of investing in justice and safety. And there's many more examples, but in the interest of time, if we can move to the next slide, please. Good government. Here are a few examples. The bottom line is one, last year was the first year Harris County did open public town hall efforts in the precincts throughout the county to get the public's feedback on the budget. These have been interactive town halls. We started them last year and they've continued this year. There's actually one this evening in another precinct and a couple more next week. So if you haven't gone to a budget town hall, please do so. And that's being led by our Office of Management, Budget and Management. We at Precinct 4, again, launched 12 town halls last year. We're doing them quarterly this year because we want to make sure we're listening and learning. I encourage you to go to one of our in-person because they're highly interactive in terms of types of feedback we're gathering, maps, pinpoint, voting on things, what's more important, help us prioritize. So please come September 14th. Language access. Our website, we have changed it so that it's now available in 12 languages. And I'm so proud to represent one of the most international areas in the country. We were being able to advance justice and opportunity by doing that, for instance. And many of our efforts, we always focus on language access. We'll talk about some of our community planning. But for instance, we're doing a community plan. In terms of, we're also able to drive change through our board appointments. And one example is leading on getting Holly Maria Flynn Villaseca on the Metro board. And there's been so many other boards where we're really seeking to advance representation from all parts of our community. We've had many appointments. I encourage you to go to our website to see the appointments we've made. And if you or anyone you know is interested in serving, there's a myriad of boards that Harris County is in charge of making appointments to. And we're always looking for true public servants who want to help us drive solutions. So if you're interested, let us know. And then one final example is that I'm grateful to be representing our region on the Houston-Galveston Area Council Board of Directors, as well as the Transportation Policy Council. And this is a council that represents 13 counties. And so I look forward to continuing to drive changes and making sure that these investments are equitable and always advancing opportunity and justice to the maximum degree. So those are some of the examples of good government, but the bottom line is we believe fundamentally we work for you. We want to listen, we want to learn, and we want to continue to make progress together. So next slide, please. Health. We talked a bit about heart a second ago. Took office, expanded it to District 4, expanded it to 24/7 in both District 1 and District 4. And now, my team and I have worked very closely, especially with Commissioner Ellis, to make sure we're advancing a plan to not only save heart, but to strengthen it. My goal is for it to be countywide and that we continue to make improvement in the impact that we're able to have with that program. I am a proud mom of 3 daughters. I'm actually the first mom ever elected to Commissioner's Court in the history of Harris County in her own right. I had that influences my perspective in many ways, but one example of the progress we're driving there is partnering with the Houston Bar Association and the judiciary and others. We got 3 lactation pods in our county courthouses, and we are building wellness rooms, nursing rooms throughout different buildings in the county. So that's one example. We've also updated very recently our Harris County policies for nursing employees. We have supported Access Harris. There's 6 different cohorts, 3 are named here: violence prevention, Black maternal health, and the Latino chronic disease cohorts. This again is a kind of no wrong door approach to weave together various governmental services in a way that is more data driven, in a way that's easier for folks to navigate these intricate systems, again, with a huge emphasis on prevention. And I could go on about all of those 6 cohorts, but please look up our Access Harris program. And then we do things at we have 10 community centers. We have a diabetes prevention program at Weekly. We're setting up a health hub at Bayland Community Center. We have mobile dental clinics. Sorry, it keeps muting by itself. I apologize. So much that we're doing in terms of augmenting the health services, starting a telemedicine, a partnership with Harris Health at Bayland Community Center, and many ideas to come as well. And so again, if you feel passionately about this, you have ideas, share them with us, because health is fundamental to so many, just our well-being and our quality of life, but also helps in terms of all other areas that we are working on as a county. Next slide, please. Education and economic opportunity. We have invested in the Domestic Violence Coordinating Council, which works with a myriad of nonprofits across the county to address domestic violence, really focusing heavily on the education component, on the trauma component, so heavy on the education piece, and really, again, connecting and weaving resources for those individuals who need the support. We have made market improvement. A disparity study was done before I got to Commissioner's Court, and it found that here in Harris County, only approximately 9% of our contracts were going to minority and women-owned businesses. In just a few short years, that number has gone from 9 to 27.4% of awarded contracts. So that is market progress, still work to be done, but we are making progress. We also have invested $4.2 million in a partnership to expand naturalization services. We know there's hundreds of thousands of individuals in our community that are ready to be naturalized, but the process is complicated, expensive, and long. And so this helps them navigate And as a former high school teacher and daughter of teachers, the investment, the historic investment we made in apprenticeships, a $10.9 million investment, the largest investment in apprenticeships in Harris County history, that doubles the capacity, how many slots we have, so you can earn while you learn. We also have a revolving loan fund. We're doing numerous educational sessions across the county to educate those small business owners how they can get into the pipeline to be eligible to do business with the county. Again, trying to extend the economic opportunity. We've expanded our paid internship program at Precinct 4, and there's a myriad of other examples, but in the interest of time, we will switch to the next slide. Thank you. Infrastructure. There are literally hundreds of examples, and our infrastructure team could be here for all day I'll just give you a few examples, but I'm so proud. We have doubled the size of our infrastructure team. And we started a planning team within infrastructure because I believe fundamentally that we need to be investing each of our infrastructure dollars in a way that creates the most safety, the most connectivity in our communities, and that does it in a way that is resilient. How can we build in resilient infrastructure as we think through so we can maximize flood mitigation, help with the environmental impact, and beyond? So we're thinking of infrastructure very holistically. One way is we've kicked off community plans across the precinct. One, and we call them the All In For. We just launched All In for the Inner Northwest Community Plan Kickoff, which is kind of the East Spring Branch, Lazy Brook, Timber Grove, and the northern part of the Rice Military area. We have similar plans in the East Katy area. We are doing a healthy parks plan across the precinct. Another example is we're doing master plans for Burnett Bayland, which is in Gulfton, our Ellis Island of Texas, as well as Bayland. There's many examples. I'm adding some as I speak, and I could go on and on. Freed Park and Community Center. We're also partnering very closely with the City of Houston to see what more the city and county can do together to stretch your taxpayer dollars to do more for you. So one example is Freed Park in this kind of East Spring Branch area. The county has now taken over all operations and maintenance of this park, and you have some of you have been there and have seen the immediate improvements we've done to the community garden, to one of the two buildings, and there's more improvements to come. And improve programming. We started a STEM programming free for our youth. There's so much going on at Freed. Again, we have 55 parks, and so we are doing our very best to continue to drive progress in all of them. Another thing to show our commitment to partnerships and leveraging resources. Last year, my first year as your commissioner, we launched Places for People. What this is we put out a proactive call for partnership projects with our cities, school districts, management districts, MUDs, and beyond to submit potential infrastructure projects that we could co-invest in together. So we were able to pick 32 projects. And what this means is that $88 million of Precinct 4 dollars co-invested with $82 million of partner dollars, we will be able to deliver $170 million just in the first year of Places for People. And these range across the precinct. Some of you may have submitted applications for this 2024 Places for People. The winners will be announced this fall. And again, it's very rigorous criteria focusing on everything from sustainability, resiliency, connectivity, in terms of safety and beyond. Again, making sure we're investing every one of your taxpayer infrastructure dollars in a way that will maximize the ROI and impact for our communities. We've also launched, this is a former teacher in me, a $20 million sidewalks for Precinct 4. And this will help with approximately 50 miles of sidewalks. And this will be in 2024, 2025, again, throughout the precinct, especially in areas where we saw gaps, where there weren't sidewalks connecting schools or places of worship or bus shelters. We wanted to create that. We have also received the funding from the General Land Office, well, from HUD, that then went to the GLO. We all know that it took a while for those dollars to come, but we have a commissioner, Don Buckingham, who is wonderful, all about getting the work done. And we've been able to collaborate wonderfully in the last year and a half that we've both been in office. And now Harris County is getting over $1 billion of the CDBG, DR, and MIT funding so that we can continue delivering on these key flood mitigation projects. So there are many projects, and we're happy to answer any specific questions in a while, but if we can just switch, and we have hundreds of infrastructure projects going on. And so again, we have one of our brilliant engineers on this call, but again, you can always reach out to us for additional information and visit our website as well that has our projects. Next slide. And I apologize for the typo. There was an L missing in one of the last slides. So storm recovery efforts. This is something that we just continue to experience over and over as a community. And I know all of us who love this region dearly, it is something we know that will happen again and again. So what have we been doing? We first in Precinct 4 had a tornado that touched down, then we had the derecho, and then we had Hurricane Beryl. I am so proud of my team. We have a road and bridge team. Within minutes after the derecho, they were out picking up debris. Same with Beryl. We have picked up, and these numbers need to be updated, but approximately 1,900 truck loads just of our Precinct 4 team. We're not only picking up debris in the unincorporated areas of Precinct 4, but also in the city of Houston, also at our schools, and helping neighboring precincts as well, because we're all in this together. Additionally, my team just was so nimble in setting up our cooling centers and our distribution centers, and we were able to provide food, ice, and water to over 6,100 households. And we have responded to over 3,000 service requests to assist residents. That's just Beryl. And then when you couple that with the derecho numbers, the numbers obviously increase dramatically. But the point is we're recovering from these incidents still, and we are doing everything possible to just from sun up to sundown continue to pick up that debris. So again, if you have a service request, you can submit it online on our website, where you can call our phone number, and we'll have all that information at the end. And I'm just moved because my team left their homes, their damage at their homes, their families, and showed up. And they showed up in grand form, again, with that heart, hustle, and higher standards. So I'm honored to work alongside them. And I want to thank, we had so many partners from all levels of government. And thank you again to FEMA and SBA for being here this evening. And HEB, Walmart, so many groups that really stepped up, so many nonprofits like the Houston Food Bank, United Way, and beyond. So we're in this together, and we welcome your partnership. We have a 501c3. So if you want to help donate or if you want to help volunteer, we had hundreds of volunteers. We would love for you to volunteer, not only in the next disaster, but at any of our centers or parks and events. So thank you. Next slide. So the bottom line is we're in this together, and we want you to be a part of the work that we are doing in the most engaged, intimate way, because we want to hear your ideas on the solutions that are needed in your neighborhoods. So if you're not following us already, please follow us on social media at HC Precinct 4. Please sign up for our e-newsletter. Please visit our website frequently. We are trying our very best to communicate the different events and resources, things we're passing at court, what is happening with your flood bond dollars, what are happening at your community centers, and what we are doing to really connect our community. And so we're honored to serve you. And now we will hand it back over to Seth, who will begin the next portion. And again, we will spend a substantial portion answering these questions. But Seth, I would like to turn it to you. And again, we are honored to serve you, and thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for spending your time with us.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now we are going to go over to Dan Demetrician, our Director of Construction and Engineering, who's going to talk about a lot of the great infrastructure projects we have going on.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So again, my name is Dan Demetrician. I am the Director of Engineering and Construction here at Harris County Precinct 4. My main role is to take the projects that we are undertaking in our community and bring them to life. So my team is the one that leads them through the design and construction of all aspects of the projects. Sometimes you'll see there'll be a few of my team out in the field, and if you do have to have one project in your neighborhood, one of our capital projects, you'd be in communication with my team, or also at any of our various public engagement events that we do have ongoing. So a couple of things we can talk a little bit about some of the projects that we have here that are going on, and a few events that we do have that are coming up in the not too distant future. So one thing to bring up here is our All In for Community Planning project. So this is our a series of planning projects that we'll be undertaking throughout all of Precinct 4. But right now we are working on the Katy East area, which is roughly the area to the west of the Addicks and Barker reservoirs and south of FM 529, heading south down to the Fort Bend County line. This particular project, again, in these community plans, we're looking at ways to help guide future infrastructure investments in these areas and so this will be looking at things, for example, with roadway improvements, hike and bike trails, sidewalks, and any other type of infrastructure improvements that can be undertaken that can help with the flow of mobility through the area and to help improve accessibility for cyclists and pedestrians and other active modes. So this particular project, we will be having the final workshop here on September the 4th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Steve Raddick Community Center. At this presentation, we will be looking at the draft recommendations for the project. So this will be really exciting. It'll be great to hear. Really, there's been a ton of community engagement in development of this project over the past about 8 months or so, and that will guide the draft recommendations that are presented, and hopefully we'll be going forward with. So hopefully, if you're able, it'd be great to have you all come out and see what we have to offer. So next slide, please. So one project that we're starting right now is the All In for Inner Northwest. So this is the little portion of Precinct 4 that is located into the west and to the east of the Highway 290 and 610 interchanges, and following along the 290 corridor to the south into Spring Branch, and also in the Lazy Brook Timber Grove area. This is a very similar type of study as well, too. We're looking at areas that we can, what sort of improvements can be made to the infrastructure in that area, and what would be the best benefit for investment in that particular zone. So right now we have a survey that is open here. So if you live in this area, we would love to hear from you. It is a very quick survey, multiple choice, won't take very long. There's a QR code here that you can probably scan with your phone and be able to join them into the survey. It'd be great to hear from y'all and get your impact. Again, we know this area in particular has had hasn't had many infrastructure investments and is really lacking in a lot of infrastructure, especially drainage and even road mobility. So we would really love to hear from you and get some feedback as to what can be improved. Next slide. And I think that's all it is for me here. So I will turn it back over to Seth. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. So now we are going to go to our question and answer portion of the evening. And so we will start off with a question about our questions for our FEMA representative. So if you could unmute yourself, I'll pull them up here for you. The first question we have is about besides physical disabilities, what benefits and supports will FEMA provide for individuals with other disabilities such as autism, Down syndrome, who may need specialized equipment?
Okay, so my answer to that is, and thank you for your question. If there was specialized equipment that was destroyed by the disaster, a survivor would have to first go through their medical insurance. And if the insurance denies them, then they would need to forward their denial letter to FEMA with their registration number on it so that we can possibly assist with replacing those items. For that, the person who asked the question, they can private message me their registration number, and I can have a disability integration specialist reach out to them directly.
Thank you. One more we have. So a bit of an from Naomi. They received a letter from FEMA about a claim that they filed. It includes a claim number, and they're requesting identification be submitted, but they didn't file a FEMA claim. Did someone file a false claim using their name or address, or is it a fake letter? And how should they go about fixing it?
No, that letter is very real. Sometimes we have unsavory characters try to take advantage during situations like a disaster. So FEMA tries to be proactive. If we feel something isn't right, we try to notify the persons whose name it is. Will notify you by mail and send you a letter warning you. So yes, she should contact the FEMA fraud hotline, and that number is 866-720-5721.
Great, thank you very much. The next question is from Glenn and wanted to know where they can go to get the FEMA applications.
You can go to disasterassistance.gov. You can also go on that website and look up a DRC locator. That's a disaster recovery center. And you put in your zip code or your city and state, and it'll let you know where the closest center is. Most of the centers, it'll also tell you their hours. Most centers are open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. You can go in there and one of our specialists can help you complete the application as well. Or you can try our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-621-3362 to complete an application over the phone.
Thank you so much. Our next question is about classes that we offer. So we mentioned that there are classes, wanted to know what we offer and where they are. And so Celeste, you could you could answer for us. That'd be great.
While Celeste is getting on, the short version is please visit our website. We have a list of classes and follow us. You can go to @hcp4.net and you can not only see, but you can sign up for those classes, and they're free, and they range from all sorts of exercise classes to bridge classes to language classes. And again, we had, summer camps this summer. So there's a variety of classes that you and your families may be interested in. We also have many free events around holidays and other, whether it's disaster recovery, disaster resources, we host events all the time at our 10 centers and 55 parks. So the easiest way is to go to our website. And again, they're free for you and your family. So we hope you enjoy them. And we have Celeste here if she wants to please add to that answer. She's one of our wonderful community center team members. Celeste?
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Seth. So yes, I am the assistant manager for one of our biggest centers, one of our biggest community centers. We are the Bayland Community Center, and we're located in the Sharpstown area. So we welcome we have activities for all ages. We have activities for seniors. We have activities for children and family friendly. So we definitely have a design or offer these programs that are suitable for all ages and especially family and children. So right now we are offering exercise classes. These are part of our ongoing programming. We do have presentations related to health. We do have diabetes presentations. Our partners from Harris Health and Harris County Public Health, they support us on these presentations. We do have craft classes for children. We do have movies. We offer cooking classes, and we definitely go by the season and what we're trying to offer and just kind of honor let's say the month, or for Pride Month for June. Right now we're working on Hispanic Heritage, which is a big thing for us. So we're working on offering programming that's related to this needs and of course interest for our community.
Thank you, Celeste, so much for everything you and all of our community center team members do. We have pools, we have senior trips. So if you're a senior, we have all of these free trips. It's all on our website. So the short version is please go to our website and you can see it in the chat. There is a link. So please join us, and we're really excited and we're always interested in new ideas. So if you have one, please, by all means, share them with our team.
I'm muted. Sorry about that, Commissioner. Our next question is about what are we doing at the precinct for the people of Harris County who live in the city of Houston?
Thank you for asking that question. Since we took office a year and a half ago, we really have shifted the paradigm in this part of Harris County. In the past, many commissioners, not all, but many, they would only spend the county dollars in the unincorporated. That means not in the cities, right? And as you know, Harris County has 34 cities. So if it was in a city, that was the city's issue. The county dollars were primarily spent for infrastructure in the unincorporated. We are still on first for the unincorporated, and we are proud of that. And my philosophy is if you pay county taxes, you deserve county services. So we have shifted the paradigm 180. One example is our first year in office, we committed approximately $200 million in infrastructure projects within the city of Houston alone. Another example is what we've been discussing, this call for partnership projects. We've invited submissions from our different cities, school districts, MUDs, and beyond, so that we can work in partnership on these infrastructure projects. We've also been helping with debris pickup within the city of Houston. Several of our centers are in the city of Houston, and I'll mention three quick examples: Burnett Bayland, and Freed. And we are working on a myriad of other partnership opportunities with the city of Houston. We work very closely with Mayor Whitmire and his team, and we worked very closely with Mayor Turner. So my philosophy is we are here to serve all people in Precinct 4, and that includes the people who live within the 5 cities within the precinct. So I live in the Timber Grove area, just north of I-10. I live in the city of Houston. And again, we're committed to serving all. But the short answer is we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars, and we are doing many, many projects with the city of Houston, Katy, Tomball, Waller, and beyond. So thank you for that question. Again, there's so much information on our website if you want to dig deeper, like drill down into this information, and there's maps. Seth, would you please do the next question?
Yes. Next question. We also have our Director of Planning, Luis Guajardo, who would be great to answer this. How do you determine what parks get renovated? I live near Pittner Pocket Park and wondering if that's a park that's been added to the list.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Thank you, Seth, for directing it my way. We, in terms of parks, we work really closely with our parks and operations staff. We do have a healthy parks plan initiative, as the commissioner mentioned, which is helping us to look at long-term investments and capital improvements in our parks. However, we are also very service-oriented here at Precinct 4 and are looking every day to make improvements in the daily lives of our residents. And so one thing that we have been doing is connecting really closely with communities through our community engagement coordinators, listening to different groups and communities around town to find ways to improve parks and community centers every day. And so a few examples of that are Freed Park, just down the street from Pittner Park, is an area that we have come in and completely renovated over the last few months, just to go ahead and make it a much more operational and serviceable park for the community. Pittner Park is also on our radar, and we actually have been working with a group of neighbors of late and organizations to improve the gravel in the walking trails, to paint some of the walls that were in really bad shape. We are looking to bring some artistic murals into the area. There will be some additional lighter touch investments that we're doing to make the park overall safer. But we're continuing to talk to residents to get a feel for, how to improve safety there. And so there will be we will have a Pittner paint day on August 24th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, August 24th. We'll go ahead and post the details here in the chat so that people can come around and join us. We're going to paint some of the, we're going to do some little libraries, some benches, and some stands for the market that's there. And we're going to be doing that with community to spruce up Pittner Park. So we're very excited about that. And along the lines of what we're doing at Pittner Park, we look forward to be doing that throughout Precinct 4. So please get in touch with us, stay in touch, and we'll continue to find ways of improving the parks and public spaces that we have here in Precinct 4.
Luis, next up we have a question from Alicia. They thanking you for sharing the information about the budget town halls. When will Commissioners Court actually vote on the budget?
So we are deep in the budget process right now. First, I invite you, my team's going to put the link. So there's a budget town hall today in Precinct 3. We already had ours. So some of you were there. Thank you. Precinct 3's budget town halls tonight, and then Precinct 1 and 2's are next week. And Precinct 4 already had ours. So if you haven't gone, go. There's this interactive tool. And so they get your feedback in a variety of ways. I invite you to attend. In terms of the process, in early September, each department has submitted their proposed budget. We will have all the budget hearings for each department. So if you really want to go deep, you can watch them online or join us. And then September 10th will be the day, if all goes according to plan. And someone from my policy team, do you want to jump in as well? While you do, I wanted to say today was a big day. We had a special meeting with regard to tax rates. And today's objective was, if we want to go to the voters on any segment of our budget, we had, based on the timeline of when things go on the ballot, had to be done today. And so one thing, there will be a lot of information coming your way, but one thing we are going to the voters for this November is for additional dollars for flood maintenance. We have invested substantially in new flood mitigation infrastructure projects. And we need to make sure we continue to maintain all of the channels and assets of flood control now. So it's a both creating additional projects and maintaining the current assets. And I can go into a lot of detail. If you're interested, feel free to watch last Commissioner's Court, this one, and there will be a lot of information. But the bottom line is if we want to keep our families as safe as possible and mitigate the risk as much as possible, it is a both and. We will continue delivering those projects from the 2018 flood bond. We will, now that we're getting the money from the General Land Office, we will continue delivering those projects. And we're seeing the positive impact. Brays Bayou, if any of you live around there, we saw how in Beryl the water got high, but it didn't go over the banks. And so previously hundreds of homes would have flooded, but because we were able to finish that project Brays, it didn't. So we're seeing the progress, and we need to continue maintaining. And the bottom line is that even though our flood control assets have doubled since 2000, our maintenance dollars have remained flat. And so again, it's a both and. And so stay tuned. There'll be a lot of information coming your way before November. And so in sum, if you want to go to any of those town halls, my team has put those dates in the chat. If you want to join us at Commissioner's Court for any of the department budget hearings, you always have an open invitation, and then we will be voting because our fiscal year starts October 1st. And so, and again, thank you to everyone who's been a part of, who went to our town hall. I hope you can make precinct 3 or the other precincts next week. So next question, Seth, please.
So a question from George. What has been the most eye-opening lessons from 2023 Places for People, and how have you adjusted for the 2024 program?
I would say 2 things, and then I invite our Director of Planning, Luis Guajardo, to add to my answer. For me, it's been 2 things. One is the need to add an additional category, which we did this year, so that we could help plan the initial kind of planning studies. We also want to entertain the shovel-ready projects, but we wanted to make sure that if an initial study had not been done, that we created a category for that. So we added that this year. For me, as a lawyer, I absolutely want to maximize partnerships. The truth of the matter is, we are the county. In order to work with a city or a school district or a MUD, we have to get the authority to do so. And so the legal processes when you're navigating multiple governmental agencies is not as swift as I would like. So my team and I are always pushing. So we've learned a lot from last time in terms of all of the negotiations and the interlocal agreements and intergovernmental agreements, so that we can have hopefully a more efficient process this time around. So that's what I'd say. We expanded the program and we've learned some operational efficiencies in working with multiple agencies that we hope to implement in this year's. But Luis leads Places for People, and we're so lucky to have his talents on the Precinct 4 team. Luis, would you please add to that?
Yeah, I would agree, Commissioner. I think you said it very well. Is the project readiness of some of the projects that we receive. We want to make sure that we're creating opportunities to help some of these communities further their projects along before they become an actual capital project. And so that's one of the biggest learning lessons learned from year one, and we're trying to accommodate and be flexible with that for this year to help some of these different neighborhoods and communities prep their projects for a future capital project. So we wanted to learn from that, and I think we have so far. And then also entirely kind of working through within the county structure and going through those legal agreements has also been, I think, a pretty big learning curve for us. And we're trying to make sure that we understand those processes very well and how to navigate them, and so that we can provide better guidance to our partners and better assurances to our partners. And so very excited about year two, and we can't wait to roll those out and in the next couple months. Stay tuned.
All right, I think that is it for the questions that we received. So Commissioner, I will give it back to you for closing remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Seth. Thank you to all the Precinct 4 team members. If you have more questions, we're always here. Please go to our website. You can send us a message online. You can call us. You can email us. You can set up a meeting with us. We are all in making sure that our precinct is community-led in terms of the constant ideas, complaints, questions you give us. So we are here for you always. Again, we invite you to the next in-person town hall listening session, which is September 14th. We invite you to our 10 community centers with robust free programming, classes, events. It's really energizing how we're building community and really showing what the county offers. And we need your help. We need your help communicating everything that Harris County does and everything that Harris County Precinct 4 and the other precincts offer. And we need your partnership in making sure that whether it is inviting your friends to these free immunization events that we have, whether it's spreading the word with fellow parents of free summer camps, whether it is reminding your neighbors to register to vote, because we want everyone's voice in how we're spending your tax dollars to be heard. And as a mom of 3, as a former teacher, and as somebody who just cares deeply about making sure the government can work and it can work better, it's really important to me. So thank you for spending your time with us. Again, please follow us on social media. Please sign up for an e-newsletter. If you have any questions about FEMA or SBA, we have information on our website with all the relevant links. And again, my team and I, we have 450 amazing people that I learn from and grow because of every day. And I'm thankful for them, and they are here. We all work for you. So thank you to my team for your heart, hustle, and higher standards. And thank you all for giving us the opportunity to serve. So let's keep driving Precinct 4 forward and all of Harris County forward. We also invite you to Commissioners Court and all of those who have gone or continue to go. We just appreciate you really being in this with us, because that's what it's all about. It's all about community, and it's all about uniting so that we're continuously driving progress and advancing opportunity and justice. So many thanks to my team. Again, call us, email us. We're here for you. If you didn't get your question answered, or if you have thought of a new question, please, you know where to find us. And again, many thanks to my team who made tonight possible. And we hope to see you on September 14th and all of the other events between now and then. Thank you.
Recording stopped.